I'm Vivian Hartwell, 30, principal engineer on the next-generation satellite constellation that just won a multi-billion-dollar defense contract. There is no coastal cottage. I folded my hands in my lap. Grandma, you never signed anything over to me. The silence was so thick you could have cut it with a cake knife. Beatrice's gaze, still razor-sharp at 85, shifted to my parents. Then perhaps you'd care to explain why I transferred $8.7 million labeled Vivian, Oregon Coast property, and why the deed is in your names alone? Mother's glass slipped, red wine bleeding across white linen like an accusation. Father tried a chuckle that came out strangled. Beatrice didn't blink. Take me to see this home I apparently bought. Tonight. 70 minutes later we stood in the buzzing hallway of my crumbling 6-unit building. Flickering bulb, mailboxes stuffed with flyers, the unmistakable smell of old carpet and broken dreams. Beatrice walked through my 410-square-foot studio like she was touring a refugee camp. She touched the water stains spreading across the ceiling, the futon with the broken leg, the single hot plate I called a kitchen. When she opened the fridge and found half a jar of peanut butter and desperation, she closed the door so gently it felt like a prayer. Tomorrow, she said, voice low and lethal, we correct every lie they ever sold you. The next morning my parents sat in Beatrice's attorney's office, looking like they'd slept in a wind tunnel. The attorney slid drone photos across the table, their brand-new Oregon Coast mansion, glass walls, infinity pool, helipad, my money.
Dad tried charm.
It was meant to be a family retreat. Beatrice cut him off with one raised eyebrow. A family retreat doesn't have your girlfriend's walk-in closet bigger than Vivian's entire life. She signed a single sheet. The attorney notarized it on the spot. Effective immediately. The Coast House transfers to me. The offshore account they'd siphoned transfers to me. They are erased from Beatrice's, well, like a bad line of code. Mother actually shrieked. You can't give everything to her. She'll just waste it on satellites. Beatrice looked at her only child like she was seeing a stranger wearing her face. She turned survival into a future that will outlive us all while you turned theft into a lifestyle. I'm simply returning what was stolen. Father lunged for the papers. Security materialized like ghosts. They left with a banker's box and the echo of a door they'll never open again. 6 months later, I wake up to the sound of waves outside floor-to-ceiling glass. The house is mine. The future is mine. Beatrice visits every weekend, brings grocery store muffins, and sits on the deck watching the tide like it was built for her all along. My parents sold their house to cover legal fees and now rent a one-bedroom that smells like regret and takeout. They still send holiday cards addressed to our brilliant daughter. I still return them unopened with a postcard of the sunrise over my new deck and 4 words on the back. Interest compounds. Some women fight with tears. I fought with deeds, satellites, and a grandmother who finally saw the daughter they tried to bury. They thought they could harvest my future and sell it by the bottle. Grandma just handed me the vineyard and the corkscrew. Now every sunrise over water that finally belongs to me tastes like the universe whispering. Welcome home, Vivian. The grapes were always yours.